Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to another video. And in this video we're going to take a look at darker gimmicks within WWE and their place in the product in 2024. Because I've got this feeling that it's going to be a big year for darker, even witchier gimmicks, I suppose you could say, within the WWE product, mainly because I think WWE are going to want to honour the legacy of the late Bray Wyatt. And I feel like it will be all done in good taste. You've got characters like Karrion Kross getting huge resets, coming out with fire promos the last couple of weeks. Of course, it looks pretty much for certain that he's going to be working alongside the AOP and Paul Ellering. And you can bet your bottom dollar that is going to be a fire faction and booked strongly. Maybe Karrion Kross finally lives up to his full potential and Triple H pushes him to the moon. Now, of course, we know that Bray Wyatt was a huge inspiration for Karrion Kross. And did you note the subtle little Easter egg with his previous cryptic promo where, of course, the TV set popped up? Of course, similar TV set to a promo that Bray Wyatt had earlier this year. And of course, we know that Bray Wyatt was Karrion Kross's hero, pretty much, his inspiration in WWE. So you can bet that he's going to want to do that justice. Any darker gimmick that he puts out there is going to be done in good taste and presented really, really strongly. So that's exciting to look forward to. And of course, you've got acts like Unholy Union, a darker, witchier type of gimmick, Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn. And I feel like they could kill it in the women's tag team division. I think they'll win the tag team gold in 2024. And I certainly feel that there's a place for them, maybe in another faction, potentially. I can't see them working alongside Karrion Kross. I feel like that's too many cooks in the kitchen. But maybe, just maybe, there's another faction that they could fit into. And we'll come on to that in a moment. Now, of course, we can't talk about dark gimmicks in WWE without talking about Alexa Bliss. We know the history. We know how connected Bray Wyatt and Alexa Bliss were. So you've got to think in good taste that we could well see the return of Dark Alexa. Now, of course, we know the real life reason why Alexa Bliss has not been on TV. However, there could be a simple kayfabe explanation as to why Alexa Bliss has been absent. The last time we saw Alexa Bliss on WWE TV was at the Royal Rumble of 2023, when, of course, Uncle Howdy questioned her control. Maybe, just maybe, Alexa Bliss was trapped inside the Firefly Funhouse, and maybe finally, in her absence, Uncle Howdy succeeded in getting Alexa Bliss to fully embrace the darkness. It seemed like that was Uncle Howdy's mission, to get both Bray and Alexa Bliss to revel in who they are. So you can legitimately return Alexa Bliss with a kayfabe storyline that makes sense. It doesn't have to be direct parallel to the Bray Wyatt storyline. It's not going to be, because that wouldn't be in good taste. You can't continue the storyline as it was supposed to be in the absence of the puppet master himself, the creative genius, Wyndham Rotunda, not being there. But there's valid reasons to return Dark Alexa, a version of that, a new version maybe we will see, and it be in good taste. Because number one, Alexa Bliss loves working that type of gimmick. You can see Lexi has a genuine passion for that type of gimmick. And secondly, her and Bray Wyatt were very much connected. Bray Wyatt respected Alexa Bliss's work and described Alexa Bliss as the last shining piece, the last shining star of that Fiend angle. So we know Wyndham wouldn't have any issue with Alexa continuing in some capacity this darker gimmick, maybe slightly connected to previous. We know that Wyndham is looking down on Alexa, probably smiling at the thought of her continuing this in some capacity. And of course, we can't forget about another person who was extremely close to Bray Wyatt. Of course, former Wyatt family member Braun Strowman. Now, of course, we know he's out at the moment, recovering from surgery, but he will be back in 2024. And he's pretty much gone out and said he ain't coming back for himself. He's also coming back to honour the legacy of his late friend Bray Wyatt. And so you can bet your bottom dollar that Braun Strowman is going to want to honour Bray Wyatt's legacy in some capacity. Maybe he returns with a gimmick similar to what we saw when he was part of the Wyatt family, that strong henchman that you just don't mess with as part of a bigger faction, potentially. I must admit, I did have a soft spot for the Ricochet Braun Strowman tag team. I thought that worked in a weird way that maybe it shouldn't have done. I really did like that. But you can bet that Braun Strowman, upon his return, is going to want to make a statement. Maybe that's part of a faction. We'll have to wait and see. Now, I know we've talked a lot about the past here, but what about the future? What about rising NXT talent that can get promoted to the main roster and pull off a darker gimmick? And the first name that comes to mind for me here is Joe Gacy. I think he can make it work as part of a faction, potentially. I personally really enjoyed his faction work alongside Schism in NXT. I thought it worked really well. I think he's proven himself within NXT and he can rise to the main roster and deliver. And of course, we can't forget about unique acts, if you like, such as Dexter Lumis. There's definitely a place for Dexter Lumis within a darker gimmick capacity, or certainly a faction as well. He'd be another strong henchman that you'd want by your side. Now, to conclude this video, I did promise you a faction angle, and we'll come on to that in a second, but it wouldn't be right to conclude this video without addressing the obvious elephant in the room. Taylor Rotunda, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy. Will we ever see the return of Uncle Howdy? And this is just my personal take. Taylor Rotunda, the man behind Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, has just gone through his first Christmas without his brother. And he is hurting, and he is going to continue to hurt for some time, and he may never feel ready to come back to WWE. Now, there's videos already circulating the internet surrounding Uncle Howdy. I personally don't believe they're connected to WWE, but I feel that unless you see something on WWE television, don't believe it until you see it appear on your screens, like we've seen with Karrion Kross teasing this new faction. If we saw that from Taylor Rotunda, then we can believe in it. But just keep your guard up a bit. Do I think we should see Uncle Howdy return? No, I actually don't. I've had some time to think about it. I don't feel we should. That was Bray Wyatt's brainchild. That was Bray Wyatt's creation. Uncle Howdy was very much, in kayfabe, part of Bray Wyatt. Maybe some real life elements in there as well. He was very much part of his psyche. To continue that storyline arc without Bray just wouldn't feel right. What I would like to see is Uncle Howdy for one night. The presentation the same, the entrance the same. Taylor comes down to the ring and removes the mask, reveals that it was himself portraying Uncle Howdy to protect his brother's lies. Then we get a heartfelt speech. We'll probably be in tears, and then go on to say that he wants to forge his own legacy. Firstly, I just hope Taylor Rotunda, the man himself, is okay. And secondly, if he feels ready in time to come back to WWE, that he comes back and forges his own legacy. I'd really like to see that, maybe part of a faction. And talking of factions, I've kept you waiting for long enough, right? This is my sort of dream booking scenario when it comes to a faction. All done in good taste, of course. Now, I'd love to see a faction, a darker faction, consisting of Alexa Bliss, Braun Strowman, Bo Dallas, Joe Gacy, and Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. That's 6 members. It's done in good taste. We don't need to call it the Wyatt 6, but we know if it's 6 members, we know who that is in tribute to, and that would be, I feel, the right move. It would be a nice mix of talent from past, present, and the future. And I just feel some way, somehow that would work. And timeline-wise, it might match up with the return of Alexa and Braun Strowman and Bo Dallas. If he's ever ready, Joe Gacy getting a promotion to the main roster. And Unholy Union would just fit nicely in there. You got 3 men, 3 women. Just kind of works, doesn't it? It's a nice mix. 6 members. What do you think? Remember, this is a Triple H era WWE, and we know how much he loves his factions. And of course, looking ahead to Survivor Series War Games. If we get it again, hopefully we get it again, 2024, it's another faction to add to the list. What do you think? Get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions, and as always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new. We'll catch you in the next one.